Well, we went to work yesterday and put to bed the last game and went over all the corrections and the things we needed to do and made sure we addressed all the things that showed out in our previous game. So now we're moving on to the next one, and we've got an opponent that we haven't had very good success with here recently that does a really good job of not beating themselves, playing disciplined football, sound defense, they're big and physical up front, run the football, control possessions, and make the other team beat them. So we're going to have a big week of practice, get better at a lot of the things that showed up in the last game, and take care of the football. I think the last game, the 2 turnovers early, one on special teams, one on offense, and then the really bad punt put us in behind the 8 ball against a really, really good team, and it was too much to overcome for sure. So we've got to clean all those things up. In order to win in this conference, you got to play really good in all 3 segments: offense, defense, and special teams, and we've got to figure out a way to get that done.
Just on the fumble with Jack and King, was there lack of communication there, or just how did that unfold after you went back and looked at it and talked to the guys?
Well, it was supposed to be a reverse throw back to the quarterback. So somebody made a mistake. I don't want to point any fingers. Just there was a mistake made on the play.
You mentioned after the game about changes you made with the offensive line, not from a personnel standpoint, but just without going into technical details. I mean, what things have changed with them as far as how they're approaching pass protection and things like that?
Well, we played very efficient football up front on the offensive side with the offensive line the last couple games, and I think it's a combination of a lot of things. A lot of things go into it. Just like when you win, quarterback gets a lot of credit. When you lose, you get a lot of blame. The same thing with the offensive line. So, for us, Coach Williams, Coach Callaway, we put a lot of time and resources in developing those guys, and those guys probably the hardest working group on the team. They get out there early, they stay late, they work their tails off. So to me, they give us everything they have, and we've tried to. I heard myself echo there. we try to figure out ways to get the ball out quick. We try to figure out ways to mix in the run game with it. We try to figure out ways to throw some passes without pass blocking, but run blocking without going downfield. We try to not take too many drop back passes, but run more off play action if we want to. And so I think just a combination of doing all those things, and our offensive line has worked hard, and our quarterback has gotten the ball out quickly due to a lot of reasons, has helped us. Without question, throwing that many times the last game and Aidan not hitting the ground, much less not taking a sack, that's really good. So I was very proud of him, and that part is outstanding. So we've got to build on that. We've got to continue to figure out ways to run the ball. We've got to continue to figure out ways still to get more big plays and just be efficient in what we're doing. And I just think turnovers are critical. And then all 3 segments, have to play at a high level, and we just didn't get that done the last game.
Just going to play at Wrigley Field and just everything that comes with that, and you still have a game to play. So how do you balance the two, where there's extra excitement of this venue, but also the game at hand?
I think there's extra excitement for the fans and for people that want to go to Wrigley, and that's awesome. I mean, it's a historic, great venue as far as our football team. They want to win, so I'm sure it'll be in the back of their head, but it's going to be a football field just like normal, and our guys want to go out there and get back in the win column, and both teams on the same sideline, and a few different things like that will be unique, and we're going to go over to the field Friday when we go up there, just so they can walk around and see how things are situated, which we normally don't do anymore. We used to do that 20 years ago, but we normally don't. So we will do that just to make sure that they're there and they've seen it, and when we get there come game day, it'll be all about business and trying to win the game.
Just the logistics of both teams on the same sideline, and then when you're on the far end, do you plan playing a sub as much in those situations, or how do you see that playing out?
We have a meeting today at 1 o'clock to discuss more of those details. You know, I was able to play there years ago at Illinois, and I honestly can't remember all those technical rules. I do know both teams were on the same sideline. That game went the same direction because it was situated where the wall was up against the end zone. So as far as substitutions, I would think they'll give us maybe a little more time to get guys on and off the field, especially if the ball's not between the 30-yard line. And they may have to give the coaches a little more leeway to move out on the field to give signals as well, but I'm not for sure how that exactly will come up, but that's going to be discussed today, actually.
A meeting today, is that just with your people, or is that with?
No, this is the officials in both Northwestern and Purdue.
Oh, okay. You know, you have 2 games left. I know you're just focused on Northwestern, but you know, no longer do you have a top 5 opponent that is sitting out there, or you know, the hype from the national scene. I mean, you've got 2 football games that you're trying to win. Do you feel like your team will be able to zero in and focus on what's at hand here and what you still can accomplish here these last 2 weeks?
I would hope so. I think our guys work hard every week, and you know, for us, it's about just winning the next game. And we were disappointed we didn't win the last one, and we didn't play better. And there were some things we did okay, but there were a lot of things to learn from it, and it showed us in some areas how far we have to come, which is what you have to see sometime. And you have to kind of, you know, be honest, look in the mirror and say, you know what, we've got to try to fix this and get better at this and improve here. And you know, so that game showed us quite a few things that we've got to work hard to improve on. Wasn't our defense's best game without question, but they've, you know, done good things this year. So we've got to, you know, tighten up some things there and make sure we're getting back to playing sound fundamental football and tackling and being aggressive and not giving up easy completions and covering down and getting set and lined up and in a good stance and in a good position. Those are all important things to do. Special teams, you know, we've had our moments here and there, but we've got to execute, and that didn't happen. And offensively, it's about not turning the ball over and you know, being efficient in our play. So just a lot of things we got to work on. And we know, like I said, in this conference, you know, if you can't win at all 3 segments, you're not going to win the game. And you know, we've got to play efficient in all 3 areas.
Payne Durham come out of Saturday's game okay, and do you anticipate more snaps for him this week?
Yeah, Payne, Garrett, and Lawrence and Kydron. Those are all guys that are battling through some. Brock Thompson. Those are the main 5 that are battling through some things that we'll just cut it out. A few may have to get some things fixed at the end of the year, but they're gutting it out right now, and we hope to get a few of them back a little healthier.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, are there any concerns about the defense bouncing back?
I don't think so. I think, you know, our guys have worked hard. We tried to address some things that I thought we could get better at for the most part this year. This last game exploited quite a few things, but it wasn't one of our better games either, so I don't think we made them earn it as much as we should have, but those things happen. And, you know, I think it highlighted to us certain areas that we've got to, you know, tighten up and make sure that it doesn't happen again. And you know, when you lose, hopefully you're critical enough of yourself and your unit and yourself to figure out a way to get better. I mean, I think you know, I would like to think our guys would come out hungry and ready to play and ready to prove you know, what they're all about.
The offense continues to play at a high level. Just in your mind, what have been some of the keys to really getting that offense on track?
You know, I think some of the things I mentioned, you know, to Mike, you know, having balanced in some form or fashion is good. Doesn't mean you've got to have 50-50, but you've got to be able to do both efficiently. And if one's better than the other, that's fine, but you have to be able to do both efficiently. I do think we've addressed that, and we've you know, shown the ability to do both. At the same time, you know what, we've got some receivers and a quarterback, and we can do that pretty good as well. And in order to create big plays and to get points, you've got to score. You've got to make big plays. And I don't know if we're ever going to get this year a ton of huge plays in the running game, but we can be efficient. But we can't get big plays in the passing game. So we still want to be aggressive in our approach, but yet smart. And I think doing that and eliminating negative plays has helped us. We have not had as many sacks. We have gotten the ball out quicker. We have mixed in the run pass and some things to help everybody do their job better. And like I said, the turnovers has we had one this past game on offense, but eliminating those has given us more possessions. And when you have a turnover, it can be a 14-point swing. You not having the ball and then being able to score. So that's why it's so critical that we try to win that battle, and we have in most of the games that we've won.
Is Aidan O'Connell playing better than any quarterback you've had since you've been at Purdue?
Well, I know the last 2 games he's played at a really high level against really good opponents. So this is not, this is playing against really good opponents, and he's been very efficient. He's been very accurate, and he's made plays and been consistent. So I don't want to compare him to anyone else, but he's done a very, very good job. And there's games he's learned from. Coming back from Iowa and having to play Wisconsin, who's really, really good on defense and did a lot of really good things. We got a little too greedy, and that's all of us. So we've tried to adjust that. But yes, he has done an outstanding job the last couple of games.
You were a top baseball prospect at one time. Just talk a little bit about your baseball background. I know you spent a couple years in the minors, were drafted, getting a coach in Wrigley again. Just sort of encapsulate a little bit about your baseball background.
Okay, bring back. Want me to feel good about myself, I guess, either that or bad if I talk about all the strikeouts I had. But what? I love the game of baseball. I love sports. I love going to all the Purdue games of all the sports. Me and my family. So baseball to me is a game of a lot of history and tradition, and obviously Wrigley Field is as iconic as anywhere. So for me, playing at Wrigley is awesome. I know for our players it is as well. But I love baseball, and putting a football field in a baseball stadium is unique, and I know our fans will like watching football in that manner. But baseball is a unique game. You have to have great hand-eye coordination. You may not be the greatest athlete overall, but you have to have those hand-eye coordination skills, and it takes a lot of practice and repetition, just like golf. And I was fortunate enough to play for a little while with a lot of great players and coaches, and would love to do it again. But it's long gone, and I'm coaching now, and coaching is a lot more work than playing actually. So, I love the game of baseball, and I'm really looking forward to playing it regularly.
With Aidan playing as well as he's playing right at the end of his career, I'm curious if you anticipate maybe trying to actively recruit him to come back next season.
Well, we would like all of our guys to play as long as they want to, Aidan included. And we really haven't discussed it a whole lot with any of our players. We want them to just kind of finish this year and do the best job they can. And I'm big in general about not looking down the road at all. So we'll get to it at some point. I know he loves to compete and loves to play, and loves to do everything to represent Purdue in the right way. And I know we have some other guys as well that will have decisions, and I would hope that all of them that are playing and want to continue to showcase what they're all about come back, and we'll discuss at the end of the year. But those things will be finalized probably when the season's over.
You had the chance to throw out a first pitch at Wrigley a few years ago. I remember that. But this is also a big game for Purdue fans, not only Chicago, and being in Chicago, it's going to be may not be quite a home game. There'll be a lot of Purdue fans there. Talk about that and your just the ability to have an impact in that market for Purdue. And obviously, Purdue's always had some of that, but it's going to be a chance for more emphasis, I would think.
Our fans have been tremendous all year. We're thankful for all of them showing out at all of our home games. They've been outstanding, and we've been able to win some and some we haven't. So it's always important for our players and coaches to make them feel good and to represent this university and our team. Going to Chicago, where we have a lot of alumni, a lot of people that love Purdue. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun for all those, and we're hopeful for good weather where they can come out and have a good time. I know it'll be early, but they'll be able to get up and have some fun before the game, and then sit in a different venue of a baseball stadium and watch football in a unique way. And our team wants to go out there and represent themselves well, and I know we need to have a good week of practice. We need to go out and execute and play well, and we want to try to make all of our fans happy. But we're looking forward to a good turnout, and I know they'll be excited about it, and hopefully we can come out and play well.
What do you remember about recruiting Aidan or him recruiting you as a walk-on to come to this program, and then obviously what he's done since?
We were lucky to get Aidan, and really just his quarterback coach who he worked with, I had a relationship with, and he trusted me and really just called me out of the blue and said, "Hey, I have a young man that might like to walk on. I think he may have had one Division III offer, but he may want to walk on. Would you be interested in meeting with him and his family?" I said, "Sure." Trying to think, I think we already had 2 quarterbacks committed when I got here. And I didn't want to, I'm not the type that wants to, turn those people away, so we honored those commitments. We weren't going to take another quarterback, so to get a walk-on would have been great, and I really didn't know much about him. So we watched his video a little bit, not a whole lot, and, he was okay. And he came in, we met with him, and, we didn't push him one way or the other. We weren't for sure what he was going to do, and then he, fortunately, and luckily for us, he decided to come here, and then even when he got here, he was a great young man, he had a great work ethic, but I can't stand here and say that I saw what would happen now. Back then, I just think over the year or two, you could see some improvement, and you could see some things like, man, he's really kind of done a really good job, and he worked hard, and he understood our system, and he could execute some plays, and next thing you know, we had at least 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks go down, and he was forced into action. And to his credit, and my brother Brian, who had been working with him, he came in and did a pretty good job, and he helped us win some games. And he had really some uncanny poise and presence in the pocket, just the calmness to him that is not as natural for first-time guys going in. Is probably due to his strong faith in the man upstairs and himself and his teammates. And I think he knew his limitations and what he was good at. And I just think he's continued to build from there, and he's a student of the game. He works hard at it, he spends extra time doing it, but I think he just really knows what his strengths are and what his weaknesses are, and he tries to play to his strengths, and we try to play to his strengths as well. So I give all the credit to him. He's worked really hard to get where he's at. He's got a really good family. He represents his university in the right way, and we're fortunate and very lucky to have him as a quarterback.
Okay, thank you, everybody here. Thank you, Coach.